I saw that it had been around for a little while. So I wasn't going to be a guinea pig to some new experimental project that some whimsical rich people came up with. Welcome to Homemade. I'm Shannon Cason. Is it a cult? A Homemade Stories listener asked me if I would be interested in coming to a spiritual retreat. My first thought, is it a cult? My second thought would tell you the type of person I am. And I know you especially, you will appreciate it. This might be a good story. So I accepted the invitation. When I looked up the Hoffman Process online, I saw that it had been around for a little while. So I wasn't going to be a guinea pig to some new experimental project that some whimsical rich people came up with. I saw that a number of celebrities had been a part of the retreat as well, which I didn't know was a plus or a minus just yet. I guess it depends on which celebrities are there when I go. The slogan was when you're ready for real change. At that point, I could accept some real change in my life. I've dealt with compulsive behaviors most of my life and this mass depression that I hardly talk about because I'm not a crying little bitch. I've dealt with it through avoiding escapism like most of us, and I'm probably doing that right now. So I guess some change would be nice, is what I'm saying. They had a short video online about how parents play a major role in the patterns we develop throughout our lives, and the Hoffman process can help transform those patterns. Parents aren't perfect. I know I'm not, but it all sounded interesting. Personal development from the inside out, which calmed most of my immediate cult fears, but at the same time was a bummer because I kind of wanted to infiltrate a cult because I thought it would be cool and it'd be a much better story. You see where my head is at. It's always on the story. I flew into the Sacramento airport to travel to White Sulphur Springs, California by car. I went to the rental car kiosk and the attendant asked if I wanted the Hyundai or the convertible Mustang. I let the top down on the Mustang before I pulled out the parking lot for the 2-hour drive to the retreat. And I'm whipping around hills and mountains and up and down the road. I didn't listen to my regular hip hop playlist. I figured it wasn't good to listen to explicit shoot everybody and fuck everything music on my way to a self-development retreat. Just wasn't the right time. So I went with a hip hop instrumental playlist instead. Flying Lotus, Mad Lib, Jay Dilla. Also listened to this album by Common, Kareem Riggins, and Robert Glasper called August Green. Good stuff, good album, positive, reflective hip hop. Until I pulled onto the grass at the Hoffman Process in White Sulphur Springs. I went into a small wooden cabin to register, and the person I registered with was nice enough. A giant tub of Twizzlers was on the table, and that was a good sign. You may not know this, but one of my compulsive behaviors is eating Twizzlers. So it may have actually been a bad sign. And the person registering me gave me the key to my room for the retreat and told me to handle any final digital necessities, calls, emails, because at the start of the process, at dinner, they would ask for all the phones and computers. And they said to enjoy the Twizzlers too while I can, because all the food is provided and it's all organically sourced from local farms and gardens. And I thanked them and I grabbed another handful of Twizzlers on my way to my room. I entered the large cabin with a hallway of rooms with numbers on the doors, like a small hotel. Nothing was luxury about it. It reminded me of my college dorms at Michigan State University with a community bathroom at the end of the hall. I found my room and it was just as basic: a bed, a chair, a desk, a rug, some towels. I set my suitcase in the corner and sat in the chair at the desk and exhaled. Dinner was soon. I was supposed to bring all my communication devices to the dinner to be held for the next 7 days without my phone or computer. I grabbed the phone and computer, but I left my tablet in the bag just in case. I'm Black. Black folks always have to consider a just in case. It is what it is. Okay, saying just in case brings to mind another just in case that I've incorporated into my daily routine to maintain my focus. I'm gonna take a break from the story to tell you about this. It's called mental wealth, investing in your mind. Mental wealth is sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, whatever healthy boost you can incorporate. And recently, I began using these Magic Mind mental performance shots. Magic Mind reached out to me and their homemade stories listeners, and I'll be honest, I ignored the emails for a few months, but finally I saw it was like real people, not just bots, so we connected. And they sent me a few Magic Mind mental performance shots to try, and it was pretty good. I've been using the Magic Mind focus shots as part of my morning routine, and it's made a noticeable difference in my focus. And at night, I use the sleep shots to help me wind down. Sleep is so important to mental focus too. So if you want to build your mental wealth like me, try out Magic Mind. Right now, the first order of the 24-hour pack, the focus and the sleep shots, is bundled at 45% off with my code. It's a good deal to start. Use my code magicmind.com/homemade JAN. That's magicmind.com/homemade JAN. Okay, back to California. When I walked into the dinner cabin, there was a person there to retrieve all the communication devices, and I attached my name to the container that held all my items. And then I went to the large communal tables for the organic, locally sourced dinner. Then I saw it. Everyone was smiling, big smiles. I felt the jolt of fear. And at the same time, relief. All these smiles meant I may still be getting inducted into a cult. So this still might be a good story. I'm all in. I'm wearing the tracksuit with the white sneakers. I'm participating in the orgies because I saw a few cuties in the group. I'm already bored, so there's no problem there. I'm not doing anything with Kool-Aid or snakes. I know my limits, but I live for the story, man. Dinner was delicious. Everyone was nice. It was good food and good people. I couldn't help but smile too. I wonder what the new people coming in thought of me because I was smiling big too. Then I was ready to settle in for 7 days of self-discovery. And plot hole incoming. I'm not going to tell you what happened during the 7 days at the Hoffman process because I don't want to give away the surprise factor of the experience, just in case you decide that you should go. I'll tell you this. I felt like a kid again. I made friends like I was in grade school. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll tell you this. I did cry like a little bitch. And I changed. Change is inevitable. You have to go to see what I'm talking about, but change just happens. On the last day of the Hoffman process, there's a graduation ceremony where we reintroduce ourselves to all the people in the group and all the people that we've gotten to know so well over the 7 days with no outside distractions. And during the week, no one leads with their position like we do in everyday life. But on the final day, it's revealed who we are in the real world. And the group ranged from students to CEOs to popular artists, and me, a storyteller. And I made some strong connections. The last day was like awakening from a long, refreshing nap. I got my phone and computer back and didn't feel the need to immediately turn them on. I never needed my just in case tablet. There was no tracksuits or Kool-Aid, but everyone was still smiling. Genuine smiles. Someone asked me what I was going to do after the process. I didn't know right away. But one of the tools that I learned was how to ask and listen. And I did that within myself. And they were patient for an answer. Then I told them, I'm going to the ocean. Just that simple. I didn't have to explain it. They just nodded. I'm going to the ocean. I let the top down on the Mustang and I whipped it through California, Route 1. I had flew into Sacramento, but I changed my ticket to leave from San Francisco and I contacted the rental car company to switch my drop-off location. Before the process, I wouldn't even asked if that was possible. I would have just followed the original routine. But I had changed. On the road to San Francisco, it was the most beautiful ride. I pulled over a few times on the side of the road just to inhale. That kind of beautiful. I passed through Muir Woods and saw a sign for Muir Beach. I had promised myself I would go to the ocean, not just look at it from the side of the road. I parked and I walked over the wooden bridge over the underbrush. Even now, I can smell the eucalyptus bushes and the salt water. I kicked off my shoes and walked over the dark sand. I saw large rocks peeking out from the water, and I stood on one of the rocks at the beach and welcomed the ocean. The water splashed on my feet. We got comfortable with one another, and I climbed up on a taller rock, and we stayed together until the sunset. I thank everyone at the Hoffman Process. Thanks for the invite, Andy. Thanks to everyone who I had that experience with. It was a good story. Since then, I've stayed connected through regular meditation and practices, and I have tools that I can use at any time. The White Sulphur Springs location burned completely in the wildfires in 2020. And since then, they've relocated to Petaluma. Prayers to all the people who are affected by the LA wildfires happening right now.
Mm, mm, mm. Now that's homemade.